whatever that is, that's their issue. My concern is the ordinance. So if John Martin can look into that, I just want to make sure.
Okay, shall we move on for now? The next item is 10, the motion to approve acceptance of Wayne County Youth Assistance Funds for the City of Taylor District TTOPS, whatever that is. Is there any discussion on this? Taylor Teen Opportunities through Prevention Services.
Madam Chair, I think they submitted their budget to you. That's how they're going to spend the money. Basically, we're just a flow through the city. We receive the grant, we pass it on, we get payment to the school district through us.
Madam Chair, if I may add, because some council members may not be familiar with it, that's actually our TTOPS program through the police department. And what it is we get that funding, that grant money allows to pay one police officer to help with the diversion program, where we take juveniles who've been arrested for minor offenses and we put them in diversion activities and that type of thing. So it allows us to pay that officer to help with that program.
You have a certain officer that does it?
Yes, there's an officer assigned to the program in addition to his other duties.
Can you let me know who it is afterwards?
Yes.
Item number 11 is a motion to approve the new golf rates for Lakes of Taylor Golf Course and Taylor Meadows. I just had one question on this, Jeff.
Yes.
Under the writing, there's $24/$26. What's that difference of $2 mean?
24, 26, the resident. That's
First rate
that's
goes to resident.
20. That's the 2013, and it's going to 26 for 2014.
Yeah, but under. Oh,
The
you're
first
just
rate's the
showing the
resident.
old rate.
Yeah,
next
old
to
rate,
it.
old rate. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was two different times or something.
And Madam Chair, just to let you know.
The resident rate and the second rate, the non-resident rate?
No, there's difference.
It's here, there's the non-resident.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, Madam Chair, just so that everyone's clear, each year we track the data through our software program. So, no different than your tax return at home, you have an effective golf rate. You don't always get the top rate, you don't always get the bottom rate, you get a blended rate. So by us measuring and tracking the data, we know exactly from year to year how many players play, who plays, when they play, and we're with a deficit elimination plan with the state, we have to come up with this mix to hit our revenue numbers. So based on the level of play over the last 3 years, we track it out and say, okay, what do we have to do with rates? Where do we have to adjust them up or down, keep them the same, whatever, to get to our numbers? And yeah, we have a very small factor for increased number of rounds because they've been flat. They've increased a little bit in the last couple of years, but they're pretty flat. So that's, we have to make these adjustments to make sure that we get to our debt plan, our deficit elimination plan for golf. So that's the idea. That's what all those pie charts are. That's where all those schedules are. It's all scheduled out.
And I will tell you guys that I have argued till I'm blue in the face with Mr. Dobek because I don't think the rates are high enough. We have 2 very premium golf courses in the city of Taylor, and some of these courses that are not as good are getting equal amounts or sometimes more. But going back to the demographic that fits here, he's right. I mean, the Taylor Meadows course, they do have a more senior group that walks versus Taylor or Lakes of Taylor that has a little bit of a younger group that tends to ride. So, I mean, they've done the study, they've done their homework, they've spent a lot of time with this, and although I'd like to see these rates, kind of gradually keep climbing the ladder, because our cost of doing business continuously rise. So, we'll keep analyzing every year and trying to get the biggest bang for our buck.
Madam Chair and Council, I did meet with the mayor. I went through this information, and then we brought out a 65 course listing of their rates. And that was the first thing that Mayor Salvers went to, and yep, no, look at, and to his point, it's correct, but unfortunately it's what can we get for where we're at?
And if we don't have golfers, it doesn't matter how much we want to charge. We have to keep them on the course.
So you're telling me that you did all the numbers just on what all your research at the course, as far as who golf, What? You didn't go over to Wyandotte and go, well, they charge this, and
We did.
it's all.
We had competitive rates. We had-
And we went in the middle. You didn't base it on that, you based it on what you have to get.
Yeah, but we did a study of all the rates,
I understand.
55 courses.
Right.
And then we based it on, our adjustments were looking at rack rate, which is full rate, to senior rate, to resident rate, to non-resident rate. And we fit all of those numbers into these pie charts, into the schedule, extended them out, and said, this is where we need to be. And felt that they were fair and that we could achieve that. So now it's up to myself and my golf team to make those numbers.
Okay.
I'm held accountable to that. Should you approve those numbers, then I have no excuse of not, why am I not there?
You know, like average rounds at Romulus or Riverview, how many rounds they have compared to us? Is that
It's hard to
information out
find,
there?
yeah, it's hard to find. The city course is a little bit easier if you FOIA, but they don't like to give it, of course. In the private, you might as well forget it.
Right.
They're not gonna disclose that.
Well, I always got the question of, when I was in business, well, this guy charges that much and this guy charges that much. I said, I really don't care what they charge. I could care less what anybody else charges. I know what I have to charge to cover my costs. That's what I charge.
Sure. We built that same model.
Okay.
And I even asked, why can't we just increase it $1 a round? I mean, what's $1 a round? But and after we had the conversation, he said you'd be surprised at how many people will simply not return and go play somewhere else over $1 a round. And so those are things that, we don't want to lose those rounds. I mean, I don't know what the numbers, I don't remember the rounds of golf at Meadows and Lakes, but
Yeah, 33,000.
33. I know at one point they were 35, and so, and the weather has such an impact on that last year we had a really rainy spring, and
Yeah, and that's a great point. Let's talk about 39 days of weather. 39 days of weather. That's not the day it rains. That's the 3 days that it's cart path only, so nobody plays because they can't take their cart out onto the grass. That's 39 days that they don't eat in the restaurant. That's 39 or more days that,
that they don't buy stuff in the pro shop.
Exactly. I mean, weather is, everything.
And what's 39? What is it?
39, well, the last calculation I did, that 39 days, it equals some $220-some thousand when I did the math. I mean, that's a lot of revenue, 39 days. Leagues canceled, and yeah, everyone says, well, when you cancel a league, no big deal, you just back them up. Well, what do you do when you start backing up 39 days into October and it gets dark at 6 o'clock and they tee off at 5 and you gotta get them done by 6? It doesn't happen. You're giving refund checks.
And the outings become very difficult in that same sense because you can't make up an outing because of leagues and all the other outing days. So that's why a lot of times, even though it's raining, they're still playing in the outings.
You can't control the water?
No, if I could, I'll tell you something, I would be, that's right. This is a side note.
I want 17 inches of snow.
Yeah, I got a call last night from a brother that runs golf courses in California. Said it's the best winter, best 80, 70, 80 degree weather, no rain, and it was.
Jeff, you could have left that part out.
Oh, you're done talking.
Yep.
Okay, let's move forward to number 12, which is a motion to receive and file the January 2014 Budget Performance Report. Any discussion on that? Are some of these things paid like in advance so that it looks like it's really big for where it's at right now?
In advance, there's a delay. I received an email from Councilman Missouri today asking to explain the revenue sources. As we get into budget season, we will be providing you with detail on all of these revenue sources so you can form an understanding of everything that is recorded in all of these categories. Our revenue sources come in monthly, quarterly, annually. Some of them are electronically wired directly to our bank accounts, whereas others are from charges for services, from permits, licenses. So it's not consistent. When this report was ran in an effort to get this report to you monthly, we try to get all of our revenue recorded up to date as possible, but with the holiday and vacation time. January's revenue isn't posted as part of this report. It's standard protocol, so it's always going to be a month to 2 months delayed. So if you're looking at these percentages, they look low, but I know January's not posted. I know that December stuff may not even be posted because of the timing. Just for a prime example, July, August, and even sometimes in September, we get revenue for June that we have to backdate to June 30th because it's part of our fiscal year. So we do have some timing issues which affect these percentages.
I looked at, that was kind of the reason for me reaching out to Misty, was looking at some of the percentages and saying, gee, I know things aren't gonna be equal over 12 months, but shouldn't we be more than 32% of this category or 40%? So one of the things that might be helpful is to, I know we're killing more trees, but if we could see last year's and this year's and at least do a year-to-year comparison.